Hit me! You are listening to Physio Shorts, where I share helpful articles so you waste less time and get more value. Hosted by yours truly, Dustin Jones. Hello friends, welcome to this week's Physio Short. Today's short comes from Rhea Schmidt. She writes at physiolosophy.net. She wrote a post titled Establishing a Connection, Power Questions. It was written on May 8th, 2016. Don't ask questions just to be friendly and personable. Ask the right questions. Use the answers to guide your approach and build a connection. On my very first day at my very first job, my boss, an experienced clinician and businesswoman, sat in with me on my first initial evaluation. She was complimentary of my efforts, but told me, the best advice I've ever received is to learn at least two things about the patient that has nothing to do with why they're seeking physical therapy. I implemented this and ran with it. Looking back, there's so much more to this subjective interview than I originally thought. How many times have you been confident that you have the knowledge and skill necessary to help your patient, only to find that the patient never returns for a second visit or trails off within the first 3 visits? Unfortunately, this has happened to me and will probably happen again. After a few years of seeing 10 to 12 patients per day, I found that I was getting more efficient at picking up on the personality traits, tendencies, and psychosocial barriers of my patients. Along with the standard subjective questions, there are some questions that I believe can provide great insight into what our patients value, what motivates them, how easily they integrate new habits, and how sedentary or active they may be. I call these power questions. As a student, I remember learning in our differential diagnosis course certain questions that had more bang for your buck, as they would assist with ruling in or out the involvement of human systems. I believe that the same can be developed to reveal behavioral tendencies and constraints. The following is a list of power questions that I use along with what they may reveal. Number 1, what do you do for a living? Someone's career can provide a lot of information about them. Are they a boss? Are they used to taking directions, orders from others? Do they prefer working solo or as part of a team? Are they left brain dominant? Do they work with numbers and empirical data? Are they right brain dominant? Do they create things on their own? Number 2, what is your daily routine like? How active is this person? Do they stick to a strict routine? Do they march to the beat of their own drum? Number 3, when was the last time you exercised regularly? Is this person an exerciser? How much motivation and encouragement will be needed? Do they prefer indoors, outdoors, or gyms? Do they need simple, straightforward exercises? Do they like complex forms of exercise? Number 4, what has made you successful with adopting regular exercise in the past? What does this person need to set themselves up for success? Are they self-motivated? Do they need external accountability? Do they need their tools to be logical or meaningful? Are they goal-driven? What if they've never been successful? Number 5, how is your sleep? Is this patient well-rested? What is their stress level? Does pain play a role? What keeps them up at night? Number 6, you've been dealing with this issue for a long time. How are you coping? Or is this driving you crazy? How much is this injury or issue affecting their day-to-day life? Are there psychosocial constraints or barriers? What is their capacity to deal with adversity? What is their coping strategy? Number 7, what would represent a successful bout of physical therapy to you? Or when we are finished with PT, how will we know if we are successful? Are their expectations too high, too low, realistic? Do they understand their part? Do they understand your part? What is their idea about how long they need to participate in therapy? Depending on appropriateness and how the interaction is going, I may not ask all of these questions during the subjective interview. In the future, I plan to present each question individually and explain how I utilize their answers to shape my approach and intervention. If you have any feedback on my questions or have some power questions of your own, please share. Let's discuss. Thanks, Rhea. Hit me! Thank you for listening to Physio Shorts. If you found this helpful, head on over to seniorrehabproject.com where you can find more Physio Shorts episodes as well as look at the other podcasts on the Senior Rehab Project Network. I appreciate you, and until next time, my friends, do not forget to stay funky.